Hi, I'm George and this is Dave, and we're here from Acme Guitar Works to tell you about this guitar. We are a Fender authorized dealer and we sell only the Mexican guitars, and we think Fender does a good job with those guitars. They're reasonably priced, they're good quality. Fender has to cut a few corners because they're trying to hit a pretty low price point with them. The guitars are really priced reasonably. So basically we take the guitar out of the box and then we put parts and labor into it to really bring it up to the potential. And these guitars have a lot of potential. They can really turn into great guitars. Dave and I were just talking about this before we rolled the camera, and Dave was commenting about how much he likes this guitar. I think it's really cool. So this is an HTH Blacktop Stratocaster, and from Fender it comes with humbuckers in the neck and the bridge. And usually on this type of guitar you'd see a Strat middle pickup, but here they've chosen to put a Tele neck pickup. Of course it comes from Fender with a the nickel cover so that it matches the neck and the bridge pickups, but we've changed the pickups out and I'll talk about that in a minute. So basically we pull this guitar out of the box, we do some playability upgrades, we do some electronic upgrades and tonal stuff, and I'll talk a little bit about what we've done, then I'll give the guitar to Dave and Dave will play it and you'll get to hear what it sounds like. So in the playability front, we've done a couple of things to the neck. Fender does a gloss finish on these necks. We have basically taken the gloss off the back of the neck. And there's a hard line right here where it transitions from matte finish to gloss finish. You know, some makers do that on all of their guitars. I personally like it. I think it feels good. I don't really like a lot of glossy finish on the back of the neck. Some people are fine with it. So our personal preference, so I've done it that way, or we've done it that way. It just makes it feel a little more slick, like you don't have as much friction. And then on the front of the neck, of course, we've done a fret level crown and polish, and we always do this. We think that, well, it's a given that a guitar's playability or its ability to play best case is directly tied to how level the frets are. They must be level. And so we've taken some pains to really make the frets nice and level, and we've done recrowned them, polished them, so the guitar plays really well. It has best case action, but also it's real comfortable to play. The other thing that we've done up here is we've changed the nut. We have to take the nut out of the guitar to do the frets. So rather than put the stock plastic nut back in, we put a genuine bone nut in. It's cut properly. The string spacing is right. The depth of the slots is right, so that you get really comfortable playability down here around the nut. Plus it's a good hard material, it's good for tone, and it's just kind of a deluxe material that you wouldn't normally find on a guitar at this price point. And then also we've upgraded the bridge on this guitar. This guitar ships from Fender with a zinc block on the tremolo, and that's something that is done for cost savings. The original Stratocasters had solid steel blocks, and so we've put a Callahan upgrade kit on this guitar, and the upgrade kit consists of a solid steel inertia block, and it also consists of these Callahan bent steel saddles. And these saddles are really, really nicely made. They're the nicest ones I'm familiar with in this style, this bent steel style. They're really heavy or heavily made. Very nice machining, the threading and the drilling, everything is nice and square, the threads are tight. It's just a nicely made piece. So we've upgraded the tremolo with that. And then in the back of the guitar, you can't see them, but there are springs here. And we've used springs from a company called Raw Vintage. And Raw Vintage, we found their springs to have a lower tension. These guitars ship from Fender with 3 springs. With the Raw Vintage springs, we actually need to use 4 because the tension of the springs themselves is lower. So you get a really nice smooth action. And then the other thing that facilitates that is the Callahan tremolo arm. It's a stainless steel arm, and it pushes into a Delrin bushing that's inside this block, so there's no play in the arm at all. I mean, there's no slop in the threads, nothing, because the arm doesn't thread in, it pushes in to the Delrin bushing, and then you can engage a couple of threads just to keep it so you don't inadvertently pull it out. But it really is a very nice upgrade, and it makes the tremolo feel fantastic. And then we do a proper setup on the guitar, and the proper setup allows you to actually use the tremolo without the thing constantly going out of tune. And you know, a lot of people think that these the 6-screw tremolos always go out of tune, and it just is what it is. Not the case. They can stay in tune pretty well, but they have to be properly set up. The tremolo upgrades make it feel better, but they also are a tonal upgrade because the steel block just gives it a little bit more life, for lack of a better word. And it's something you'd have to hear the blocks side by side to maybe really get a handle on it. But it's a really nice tonal upgrade to give you those sort of Strat bell tones. Electronics-wise, this guitar is quite a bit different than the way it started. It came from Fender with humbuckers in the neck and the bridge and a Tele neck pickup here, where normally you would see a Strat middle pickup on a humbucker, single humbucker guitar. But here they've used a Tele neck pickup, and it came with a chrome cover. And of course, all of the original parts will come with the guitar when it's sold. But we replaced it with 3 Fralin pickups. These are P92s. So the story with the P92 is this. You got guys that had Gibson guitars with humbuckers that love P90s. And they say, man, I'd love to have a P90, but it's got to fit in my humbucker route because I'm not going to route the body for P90s. And actually, you'd have to do some filling and some routing. And a lot of guys, you're just not going to do it. So I want a P90, but that fits in a humbucker housing. And so a lot of pickup manufacturers have made pickups like that. Fralin used to make them where there would be a single coil inside a humbucker cover, but they were hand drilling the cover, and so he decided he was going to have the tooling made to do the cover so that they didn't have to hand drill them anymore. And he thought, well, if I'm going to go to the expense of doing the tooling, we're going to make it a hum canceling pickup. So they make a split coil pickup, and what you have are 2 short coils. You don't have 2 full-length coils like a Fender wide range humbucker that looks similar to this. You actually have 2 short coils, only 1 coil for the wound strings and 1 coil for the plain strings. It really is designed to sound like a P90. It's not trying to sound like something else, but it's hum canceling. So you don't have the single coil hum you would typically have with a P90. That's what's in the neck and the bridge here. And then in the Tele neck pickup that we chose is also a Fralin pickup, and it's one he calls a split blade. And the split blade is made exactly the same, or well, except that it fits in a normal Tele space. He makes these for Strats and Teles. And basically, again, you've got 2 short coils that are butted together end to end. And you've got 1 short coil for the wound strings and 1 for the plain strings. So it's almost like having true single coils, but split in a way that you still get hum canceling, but you've only got 1 coil for the plain strings and 1 coil for the wound strings. It's a pretty novel idea. We thought, you know, since we got a Tele neck pickup, hey, we'd do a little bit more Tele-ing to this guitar. So we put Tele knobs on it. These are Callahan knobs, really nicely made, real deeply knurled. And we also put a Tele switch tip on it. And we put a little push button switch on it. This push button switch is one that we manufacture. And what it does is allows you in the middle switch position to get these 2 pickups in series. So pretty much this wiring is set up like a Stratocaster. In the 1 position you've got the bridge, the 2 position you got the bridge middle. This is where it changes. In the 3 position, rather than the middle, you get these 2, like you would a Gibson in the middle position. In the 4 position, we get the middle and the neck, and in the 5 position, we get just the neck. So in the 3 position, when you've got these 2 humbuckers, like a Gibson, they're wired in parallel, like any Gibson, 335, SG, Les Paul. But when you push this switch in, now these 2 are on in series, and that makes it sound fuller and thicker, and it hits the amp a little bit harder, a little bit more gain, and Dave will demonstrate it, and you can hear it. It's especially at low gain settings, you really can hear it there. Sometimes with high gain, there's enough going on that it's a less distinct difference. So anyway, That's about it. There's some cool things with the tone controls. There's a couple other things I'm not really going to talk about. This one, when we photographed it, we had these little things stuck on here, and we haven't gotten the glue off of there yet. I need to get some naphtha and get that off of there. So, but those you'll see on the photos on our website that those aren't on there. So anyway, I'll shut up and give it to Dave, and you can hear what the guitar sounds like.
Well, let's start with the differences from a typical Strat. We'll start in the middle position, and you say with the little switch out, it's parallel.
Right.
Switch in series. Pickup. Neck pickup. Okay, neck and middle. These trems feel so good on these guitars. Let's go to the other notch position, middle and bridge. Put a little juice on it.
So was that clean? Is that just the amp
Yes.
gain?
Just amp gain. This is with a little bit of what they call a tube driver. on this line 6. Go back to that middle position. Switch out. So it's parallel. I think these pickups really come to life with some gain on them. I mean, they sound great.
How's the tune? So, what's that?
Can't ask for more than that.
Yeah.
compression but no gain.
Okay.
This is without the compression.
Yeah, that compression comes
Gibson all the way in the middle like that. Makes it a really versatile guitar. I mean,
yeah.
if you need that little extra meat there.
Yeah, you definitely hear it clean like
Perfect too.
that. Yeah. The guitar's great. It looks super cool. It sounds fantastic. It plays great, and the price is right. Can't beat it. Price is a little higher than it was when it came from Fender, but it's a lot of guitar for the money. It really is. Check out our website. We always have guitars like this that we've hot rodded for sale. And if you don't see something that you like, give us a call and we can build something to order. Thanks for watching.